Uh, I'm sorry, me.
Yes.
Okay, number hey. That's where I want to start. He said, "Rei bebira meshula b'pia grua." Now we need the grua here. Should his boyer inin mafteach the kol shis? He explains over there this concept. Shehu sod the das. He said, wait a minute. This is not just zeranpin. It's a sod of dasha zeranpin. The das of zeranpin. Hanik mafteach shekol shish kitzvos, which is called by that name. Keradas mispashet b'minim zeranpin. Sheyesh bo shisha kitzvos. Hanik mafteach. It's also called by the word key. Ki hadat poseach as rechem ima. This is different. I thought he was going to say the other way. I thought he was going to open up. He opens up the spheros and zeranpin. He says no. He opens up the rechem. This is like a chiddush here, that it has the ability to open up the rechem of ima in order to b'shas lay this amochin sham. The rechem b'charos sham. In other words, I guess it reaches up, as so to speak. If you looked at it from bringing in mochin to zeranpin is in cottonus. Then you're really reaching up back to the womb of Ima to open it up to bring in. He said mochin, to bring in mochin. Ki adat poseach es rechem Ima b'shas latest amochin, the birth of the mochin. Rebach arusham degam zer anpin atmo. Also, he's going to say is also called maftacha, called a b'shes sham. Nimshem b'sichon. So it comes out like this in conclusion. He said the kol habiura maftacha. The call of b'shes, and always to put this base on front of the shiz, who Zer Anpin is really always Zer Anpin himself, Pratla or Yakar, which expects the exception of, he says like this, I guess, with the or Yakar, who show that it, Shuhu Hadas, which is Das. So everybody always holds it's the Vok of Zer Anpin, but over here could be also Das. The Fia Gro Hu Gam Das, so according to the Gro, it's also Das. So it's like that. Let's look at number tests. Let's see if I can get number tests here. Number tests. Number test says v'navi kan be'id bir noisif shebetzida in the matok b'devash kan b'zel l'shonu. He says also maftacho the kol of b'shiz b'ha yisod. He says what is this? What is this? He says this is the yisod of Abba you're talking about. Abba, the yisod of Abba is a key. Hanikra mafteach al kol b'shish kitzvos that has within it. It's a key that has within it. The concept of Zer Anpin, or let's say the DNA of Zer Anpin, which is the Mafteach Shekolo B'Shisha Kitzvos, it has a Kitzvos in it, Ad Kan. But then he writes, the publisher here writes, V'lo Matzinu Makom Pirish there, but I didn't find any root for this idea. So let's look a little bit more. Let's see, V'nitzayim B'zel, let's point out over here, the Matzinu B'Makom Acher, but the maftacho hu das should be yisod the muach abbas. It's the das of the yisod of the muach abba. So looking at the yisod of Abba, you have 10 spheres there. You have a das in there. The zer anpin shekola, but of zer anpin shekola shesh teroim that has within it 6 gates. Now this is like new. Rei b'shar ma'mari rash b'sham. So the picture is trying to give us the shona bedillah v'zel the das. The Noches Ma'aba Kedemus Bris Kodesh comes down from Abba. It has the image of a Bris Kodesh Elyon, a very high level, or Panemius Dika Bris Elyon. It's like Abba. V'Amr Bezoyer says in the Zohar, Go Inan Teroyan is Menu'ula. So there is a lock inside of these gates. Chada, Menula Chada. V'chad Aser Dokik La'ala Haku Maftacha. So there is, I think, I translate, there's a very narrow path, the law to bring in or to insert in Hakum Maftacha. He's a Bay into it. Yirtza, so if you like this idea, he's a go inan Jeroim Shehem Mem Tesharim, so within these gates, which are actually 49 gates, Yesh Manoah Lachad, there's one key, there's one lock, excuse me. Who sod Yisod Shabbat. What is this lock? This is the secret of the Yisod Shabbat. So I'm not. I guess he's talking about. Anyway. In her, Shuhu Nukudis Sion Shebabinda Dezer Amten. Let's go through the whole phrase. So he says that this is the secret. He says these gates, these 49 gates, and it has a key, has a lock. We're looking for a key. This is the sod of the Yesod Shabbat of her Yesod, Shehu Nukudat Sion, also known by that name, but it's that particular place in the Nukva of the female aspect, Shebabina, the Zer Anpin, but of Zer Anpin. In other words, we're talking about opening up Zer Anpin. V'achar v'chad aser doke ku rechem u pesach shabbat. So this path he says, or this place, which is very narrow, he says this is her womb, and also the opening that's in that womb. In other words, the door. V'hamafteach hu ha'yesod. So what is the mafteach? It's the yesod haposeach v'osa osa kli, and it's this is all going back to this rayo concept too. It's the yesod that is able to open up and place within her v'osa kli and make her into a vessel to be able to retain. Because it's the is Rashim Ella Berishima the Haku Maftacha, so there's only impression there. An impression there of a place so that key could come in. Kihuha also kli o because that key is what opens her up and makes her open. So from ourselves we can understand that too. Kamoshi Yesod Tachton Kolol Shis. So he said, well, let's go back and see. He says, just like we see in the lower Yesod, it has 6 different parts because I guess it's a collection of the spheres up above it. Like you said, okay, so this is like a Zohar Dika kind of metaphor. He says that its legs are like columns of here it means marble. The color shis kartufa echad. Now I try to find this word kartufa. Maybe you know, but it sounds like a purse or one bag or something like that. One vessel. The color shis kartufa kachada. They're all like together in this kartufa. Kain Yesod Elyon color shis teroyan. So, but if you go back up, it was where he's talking about Bina. It also has 6 gates over there. So now we're going back to the Tikkuni Zohar. It says Barashis made 6. With creation makes 6. Olam Tohu, and then the word was abandoned, or what you call it, blank. Sod Hadas, until the secret of Das came into this, the Kolol Shis, that is the 6, and it opens everything of Shis Tiram. There's these 6 gates. Besod Rechem Shabbat, which is the concept of the rechem, that's her rechem, her womb, makom hamanol, which is the place, the place of the lock. V'hotzi shesh kitzvos zer anpin the chutz, and as a result of that, this, I think he's still talking about the concept of the das that reaches into the rechem. The question is, which das was he talking about? He said, I thought he was talking about the das of the bina of Zer Anpin. It's just a little complicated path, but it's what basically saying that this is the key that opens. V'hotzi shesh kitzvos Zer Anpin l'chutz. It takes these 6 kitzvos of Zer Anpin, brings them out. Hayedech das to kol shis tiroim through das, which has within it 6 gates. Whoa! Let me see. Coming back here. Okay, so just finishing up the last line, he said, "Avohoya ha'olam tohu ad asher niknaz b'cha b'sod the das," until this secret of this das. What's the secret? The secret is the kolol shis tiroyan, that it has 6 gates. Now, it seems to me like it's still a key, but he's saying that it has 6 gates attached to it, b'sod the rechem, which is the secret of the rechem. Now, he says the das. He says, the kolol shis tiroim, the das has within it 6 gates. Those 6 gates are in the secret of the rechem. Sheba, her rechem, the rechem of, I'm thinking he means of Bina, makom hamanol, which is the place where the key, where the lock is. V'hotziv sheish kitzvos zer anpin l'chutz, and as a result of this, that he has these 6 gates. So now I think he's metaphorizing the concept of a key with 6 notches into it, that each one of those notches is actually a gate. And it allows the 6 kitzvos of Zer Anpin to come through it, because it's the das that's doing this, the kolel shis teroim that has these 6 gates, which are now we're saying they're openings. If you get this in, that these notches in the das, I guess it's the yesod of the das, or I don't know, it's a little mixed up. But the yesod has they're also gates, not just notches, but they're also gates. So let's their anpin out. Okay. Anyway, that's the shear. Thank you, Rabbi, so much for coming back. Kol tov.